Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my most humble pranams at the lotus feet of beloved Bhagwan. Dear Swami, respected elders, dear brothers and sisters.
Please contact flight attendants when you need help.
When I think of the power of love, the incident that comes to my mind is something that happened far above the land, high up in the skies in 1974. Let's go to this British Airways flight VC-10. It was a VC-10 flight that was flying from Bombay to London with a stopover at Beirut. As this plane took off from Beirut, two Arab youngsters began a hijacking. This plane got hijacked. This plane got hijacked. They took over the cockpit, and what did they do? They broke alcohol bottles and perfume bottles and spread all the liquid all across the aircraft, and they threatened to burn up and explode the whole aircraft in midair if people did not cooperate. And in this aircraft were seated Mrs Phyllis Krystal and her husband Sidney Krystal. For those who are unaware, these are long-standing devotees. Mrs Phyllis Krystal passed away recently. She has been a great contributor to so much spiritual thought and Swami literature. Now that itself makes it clear that she came out of the 1974 ordeal, but how did that happen is very, very interesting. I'm saying this because I have read even the newspaper reports, the New York Times reporting about this incident in 1974. So what happened? These hijackers pulled out their guns, they pulled out their cigarette smoking, and they were very, very threatening. These two, they said anybody does anything will burst, explode the whole aircraft. Everybody was shivering and trembling in fear. At that point in time, Phyllis Krystal was called by her husband who was beside her, and he said, I think it's all over now. Let's just pray and get ready for the end. She said, no, it's not over. Her mind immediately went back to the interview they had had with Bhagwan just a couple of days back at Bombay, at Dharmakshetra. Now that is where they had caught the aircraft also from Bombay. So she remembered, and in her mind's eye, she saw Swami seated there in the interview room. And Swami then looks at her, and from within he says, send them my love. Send them my love. And she's not able to believe that Swami is talking from within, you know. She just talks back to Swami there. She says, send them love? They are going to blow up the whole aircraft. They are so scary. How do I send them love? But Swami insisted. Swami said, send them love. And that's what Phyllis Krystal did. She closed her eyes and began to radiate Swami's love. She began to feel what she felt at the interview room in Dharmakshetra, took Swami's love and began to broadcast it. And even as she did this, she saw that suddenly those two hijackers have become very jittery. The person who was smoking his cigarette, it was so dangerous because if he had dropped the cigarette, there's alcohol and perfume all along the carpets of the aircraft. Whole thing will catch fire. It's highly inflammable. That's what they had done. They had poured it all along the aircraft. He just put out his cigarette and threw it away. And he was feeling very jittery. One of them even slashed his wrist. It began to bleed. Then he tied a cloth to it. They began to do all crazy things. They had become very nervous. And they themselves did not know why they are so nervous. They began to walk up and down. They were looking at what is it that is making them nervous. And there was Phyllis Krystal in her meditation, radiating Swami's love. And she was just hoping that they don't locate her as the source of their whatever it is, you know. That was her fear. So as she sat doing this, the hijackers made a change in plan. Their original plan was to land in Greece, where two of their comrades had been jailed, fellow terrorists had been jailed, and they wanted them out. But in Athens, they were not allowed to land. So they decided that we'll blow up the entire aeroplane above the North Sea. That was their plan. And there sat Mrs. Phyllis Krystal radiating Swami's love more and more. Suddenly one of the hijackers says, "No, let's not blow up this aircraft. Let's go and land in Amsterdam." And in an unbelievable sequence of events that has been captured, as I said, by world media, it's there. You can go and see it on the internet. The entire story is there.
Op Schiphol staat in een bed van schuim de Vickers Viscount VC-10 van British Airways, die na zijn landing hier door twee Arabische kapers in brand werd gestoken. Urenlang zijn personeelsleden van de Schiphol brandweer bezig geweest met het blussingswerk, dat niet zonder gevaar was omdat zich aan boord nog explosieven bevonden. De kapers die op Schiphol gearresteerd werden, hadden de 92 passagiers en de 10 bemanningsleden nog wel de gelegenheid gegeven het toestel te verlaten, voordat zij hun zinloos vernielingswerk begonnen.
What happened? They landed the aircraft in Amsterdam, opened up the emergency doors of the aircraft and told all passengers leave. That's what they said. They told all the passengers to leave. They all left the aircraft. After which, these hijackers set the plane on fire, got down and surrendered. Surrendered to the police. That's what the world media has captured the story as. We are lucky to know that they surrendered to Swami's love. They could not lift a finger to harm somebody who is radiating Swami's love. And therefore I say that love is the greatest panacea. Let us spread love. There are people in our lives whom we get irritated with, whom we get upset with, whom we get angry with. Let's try Swami's method of spreading love. And how do we share love? Without any expectation. I am reminded of how we would do prasadam distribution. We would walk in rows and give prasadam. Some people would accept it with great love. Some people would accept it and touch our feet. Some people would try to snatch 2 extra sweets. Some people would ask, "Give me one more." People would react in different manner, but our response would be the same as we distributed the prasadam. Why? Because this is not my sweet. This is Swami's. And whomever Swami has decided will get it. That is the way we have to share his love. It is not our love, it is Swami's love that he has filled in our heart. And Swami, this love is available for all. No reason for love, no season for love. Swami's physical presence or absence doesn't matter because Swami is eternal. Swami's love is eternal and it will always grant us beautiful experiences. May we distribute Swami's love to everyone who comes in our way every day of our life. And sanctify our lives and feel Swami's love every moment of our life. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.